Good day and welcome to Political Talk on Housing TV Africa. My name is Ubong Osoro and I am your host. I'm super excited to have the privilege to host the show today. And we have a very beautiful person that is going to be talking to us about student union government and the role they play in negotiating better living conditions for students. Let's go for a short break, and when we're back, we'll go straight into our conversation. Don't go nowhere.
Get credible and authentic housing news at your fingertips by downloading the Housing TV mobile app. You can also join the African International Housing Show live from across the globe through the Housing TV mobile app. The mobile app features live streaming and trending housing news. You can locate the AIHS venue via the app, network with AIHS seasoned speakers, and live chat with exhibitors. You can also order house or building materials at AIHS via this app. Download the Housing TV mobile app now from the App Store and Google Play Store. And don't forget to click on the notification button. Available for both iOS and Android users. Housing TV is also on Star Times, channel 149 decoder.
All right, welcome back to the show. Blessing, how are you doing today?
Doing well, thank you.
Let me start on a more personal note. How does it feel being the first female student union government president of the prestigious University of Calabar?
It feels good. It feels interesting. It feels that I am actually contributing to history, or I've made a history. So it feels good.
Has this always been your plan, or was it something that came along the way?
Well, when you say if it has always been my plan, everybody always wants to lead. And I've always been a leader in any capacity I find myself. So coming to contest or vie for the office of the SUG President is something that I was motivated by a series of factors. So, and I had to, motivated with the desire to make a difference and also impact my society, because I believe when you are at a leadership position, you have the opportunity of implementing certain things that you cannot affect just as a follower.
All right, so let's go into serious conversation now. For many students, accommodation remains a major challenge, with issues such as high rental cost. I stayed in Calabar for a time, so I know a bit about Calabar. I know house rent is getting very costly, especially for those who are in Calabar South, municipality, and other areas like that. So, what have you done about consent for students getting accommodation? What's the state of the hostel in at the University of Calabar?
One of my manifestos was to ensure that we have hostel, and this was to address housing challenge for students. No doubt the population on campus is increasing rapidly, and we have just very few students staying on campus. Even though we have very good hostels, we have over 10 hostels, and that has not been able to address the housing challenge. So coming into office, I have to get to reality that you cannot erect a structure within just 10 months or 11 months that I have to stay in office. So what other things can I do to ensure that I also address the challenges or concern faced by students? And then I came up with another initiative that would address some other challenges. Then in terms of the housing or the hostels, with the assistance of Third Fund, we have over 3 new hostels. That's in addition to those hostels that have been there. We have Hall 12, Hall 10, Hall 11. And as I speak with you, there's a hostel that is currently ongoing, a hostel structure still sponsored by Third Fund. So in as much as the university management is trying to address the housing challenge, the campus cannot house everybody. So what I tell people, alumni, if you think, oh, God has blessed you to a certain degree and you feel you can give back to your institution, it will not be out of place if we have alumni coming in to build hostels for students or if we have individuals coming in to partner with the university to build structures. The university cannot do it all alone. SUG as a body cannot even build the hostel.
All right. The issue of transportation and getting maybe vehicles to get you into University of Calabar. I remember one day I was going to, is it Faculty of Medicine or something, came to see somebody, and the distance from the gate, it's actually, it takes a lot. Most students can't trek that distance. What are you doing about in-campus movement? Have you had buses to address those kind of issues where students can move to their lecture halls when the lecture halls are actually a bit far from the gates?
Yes, yes. And I mentioned that aside the hostels, I had to think of other things or think of other challenges that students face, which you've mentioned, the transportation issue. And that was why I had to initiate the idea of buying the SUG minibuses. The SUG minibuses serve these peoples. They go to routes that the main campus shuttle do not, like the medical colleges. We have the pharmacy, we have places close to the Cameroon. So with the SUG shuttle, they apply all those routes, including staff quarters, because we know we have students that reside at staff quarters. So that issue has been addressed.
Okay, and the students are no longer coming. Let's talk about some amenities that people actually enjoy. I've had a few persons tell me that sometimes at the campus you have lights go off. Maybe even during examination period, people go to read and all of that. The lights. What's the lights condition at the University of Calabar?
We have power supply thanks to the solar that was sponsored by the World Bank. So with that, I can boastfully say we are having 20 hours or 24 hours power supply. When I say 20 hours and 24 hours, 24 hours in the sense that there is always light on campus, although in different locations as they are being rerouted, since the power plant cannot provide electricity for the whole school at once. So they reroute for different locations. In the day, the main camp may have, and then at night, the hostels will have. Or sometimes, or we usually have the main campus, administrative block, and the hostel having light simultaneously. This is to ensure that the longevity of the power supply or the power plant is sustained. So when I mean by 20 hours, in the hostel, as I speak with you, there is light because we have the sun that supplies us with, that empowers the power plant. So with that, we are not thinking about shortage of lights. And there's also Wi-Fi. We enjoy free Wi-Fi. At my hostel, there's a particular spot or a room that the Wi-Fi connection is. So if you do not have data, you can be in that room to use the free Wi-Fi. And also at the administrative block and some places on campus, we are sure of Wi-Fi.
When you said at my hostel, what came into my mind? Of course, it's a presidential hostel. So what else are the students going to expect?
No,
But let's
it's
talk
not a
about.
presidential
Okay, go
hostel
ahead.
because before I moved in there was no president. I'm the first female president. So the lodge I'm staying is a lodge that have always been there for students. So the Wi-Fi have always existed even before I moved into the hostel. So every hostel.
Oh, we are not staying in a different. I thought the practice was when I graduated from the University of Uyo. The practice is that there's actually a presidential hostel or something. We don't have that over.
No doubt, I have an official card that I use as a SUG president, and then I also have a lodge, a room that is tagged the presidential lodge because I stay there. So the aspect of going on convoy, moving with vehicles and others are individual based. So you don't tag that to SUG president.
Okay, your case is different. You're not that kind of president, ma'am.
No, I don't fancy those things.
Okay, so let's talk about overcrowding in classes. We've seen pictures of public universities of students being overcrowded in classes, especially when they go for classes like GSS, GSTs, and those kind of classes are compulsory. You've gone through that before. What's the situation in the school, and what can you say about it? Do we have a good ratio of the lecturer to students, or do we have overcrowding and all of that?
For the overcrowding, it depends on the department. There are some departments that maybe because of their structure, they admit over 200 students. Unlike in my department, I've never experienced overcrowding in my department. And then for the general courses, so far, the general courses have been tilted in a way that departments and faculties, they have their different times for lecture. So you don't have all departments coming in together. Let's say for a course like GSS 111 or 101, you don't have all the department coming in together. Department A would have their lectures on Monday, Department B, and so on and so forth.
Okay, so do you have something to say to the government? Do you think we need more spaces between the lecturers? So, because people argue that we don't really have a good ratio of lecturers to teachers, do you think we need more lecturers in the university?
Yes, that's true. We need more lecturers, and especially on the Japa syndrome, that we had some lecturers travel out and no return, which is actually causing a brain drain in the country. So we need lecturers. We have people that are upcoming, people who have passion and zeal for lecturing, not just employing someone because you want to occupy them or get them employed, but people who really have the zeal for teaching. What happened to all the first class we are having? If all the first class can be employed, that is, if they have passion for teaching, then it's a good one for the country. Because the education of our country, the system, if God not having it on our side or God not being on our side, we don't know what would happen in the next 10 years.
All right. So the next question I'd like to ask you now is that what's your team like? The people you work with, how's the cooperation? How have you been received by lecturers? Because I'm going to ask just before. Okay, maybe let me just add the two questions for you to answer. What's been, the perception, and how have you been received by lecturers and students alike? That's one. And on the other side, there've been cases. Personally, I've heard reports online of students being victimized, harassed, and all of that by some lecturers from your university. Have you had any of such complaints? And if it comes to your table, how do you handle such complaints?
We all know that the management have various structures in place. So if we have issues of gender-based violence or sexual harassment, it is being directed to the gender department or the gender unit. They specialize in that, and other actions are taken from their own table. So in the aspect of relationship with lecturers, well, I have good relationship with both students and the lecturers. So there is no sort of tie, even though there might be misconception or myth that they call me a management student. Yes, a management student that
I was
I'm
coming to
mostly with
that.
the students and sometimes seen in meetings. Yes.
All right. Security is also another problem. We've had cases of students complain of their phones or their belongings being taken over by people of the underworld. How's the security condition at the University of Calabar been?
When they say security, security is everybody's business. If you are in the taxi and then you keep your phone on the seat and you leave it, what do you expect? Do you expect to still find that taxi, get in there and get your phone? So security is everybody's business. People would not stop taking people's item. So in terms of secure your properties, if you don't secure your properties, the school have their own securities in place. But firstly, you must secure your immediate properties. It is only when we come to issues of kidnapping, issues of people losing their lives, that you can blame the school management. If my phone gets missing, I cannot blame the school management because that's my sole responsibility of securing my property.
All right, so you've spoken very well. What challenges have you faced as the SUG president? What are some of the challenges you faced in the office since you became the SUG president, or there be no challenge at all?
Of course, there have been challenges, especially as a woman. People would have so much of expectations and to see if you are going to let them down. So the challenges I've encountered is too much of expectation and some people looking down on you.
So how have you been able to cope with those challenges?
When you are focused, you don't listen to criticisms that will not build to your growth. So I'm just focused. Meanwhile, I embrace everybody. I embrace what you said and I pick the ones that I feel would help my government work.
Okay, now, so talk about your legacy. What do you think will be the greatest legacy you are going to leave behind?
Okay, when you talk about legacy, I will not start by praising myself. I will not start by giving myself accolades. Let the things I do after then speak for me. I initiated the SUG President Scholarship, the mini buses, and then awarding the best graduating students, and more are to come, and other things that I have done on campus. So when I leave, I will still come back to you and ask you what are my legacies, because you'll be the one to call the student and ask, okay, what do you fear the legacy of the SUG president? Not me telling you what my legacy are.
Beautiful, beautiful. The other time we saw you on the media, lots of national dailies carried it that you awarded the best graduating student of your university 1 million naira. Tell us about that, because we've seen graduating students, best graduating students getting 30,000, 50,000, but you actually did something very beautiful.
It's awarding academic excellence for someone to come out with such grades, or to even be the best graduating students. They have put in so much, their time, their resources, and there's no other way to reward them than saying, take this little token and start from where you can.
And 1 million is little token, madam.
When you go to the bank and you are putting 1 million naira only, so what do you mean?
Uh,
It's 1 million
okay,
naira
go
only.
ahead.
Yes. So it's a token, because looking at the economy of Nigeria today, if you want to pick a master's or even pay your fees, can 1 million naira fund that for you? So it can. But that is just like a stepping stone for the best graduating students. The student union government is telling you, we have this 1 million for you. Decide what you want to do with it.
Okay, a lot of students, this is before I ask you the last question. Lots of students drop out of school because of school fees, and I've heard people say that a lot of people struggle to pay school fees. Have you had interaction with students? Have you had something to actually assist students who may be having problems with paying their fees?
Yes, and that's why I initiated the SUG President Scholarship. The funds did not come from me. In life, you need to work in partnership with people. I had to reach out to people that I feel would want to support that initiative, and the deputy governor of my state assisted that. And there's a second phase of the scholarship that over 40 students will be awarded with the scholarship as supported by someone. So we are trying our best to address that. The vice chancellor also has the vice chancellor scholarship. So Nigeria is hard. Please, we need money. We need scholarships on campus.
All right, I saw a lot of people were saying congratulations to you the other day. So let me just add my voice to that and say congratulations. You know what I'm saying congratulations about. I don't want to say it on national TV, but I know you know why I'm saying congratulations.
Thank you.
I
Even though
think
I
you
don't.
know. Okay, so I'll tell you in our private conversation. Thank you so much, Blessing Alims, for coming on the show on Housing TV Africa. We really do appreciate you. and we love what you are doing, and we hope you keep being a voice for the Nigerian students, the female, everybody inclusive, and keep being the shining lights that you are. Talk about housing, because how students would get affordable housing in the University of Calabar. Thank you so much, Blessing. But before you go, your final words to our audience.
Okay, to my audience, to all the young people watching, the final word is just be resilient in anything you want in life. Be resilient, be focused, and you will get it. You can attain any height you want as an individual. It is not too late and it is never too early. Start now instead of procrastinate. Thank you.
What's next? Are we going to be seeing you running for House of Assembly, or are you going to go into lecturing? I'm
Well,
still thinking about it, I guess.
until then.
Thank you so much. All right, people, that's the package. That's the size of our show today. My name is Ubong Osoro, and this is Political Talk. We had the very beautiful Amazon, who's doing wonderful things for herself and the Nigerian community, especially representing the female very, very well. Blessing Alims, who's the SUG President of the University of Calabar, who came on the show today. I hope you have for yourself a wonderful day. Remember, you could always listen to us on Star Times channel 149, and go on our social media platforms, Housing TV Africa, and get all of our contents. Do have for yourself a wonderful day ahead. Bye for now.